Hi everyone, welcome to Barefoot TV, the weekly online TV program which provides you with easy access to knowledge, wisdom and guidance from myself, other experts, leaders and spiritual advisors to support you in connecting, transforming and growing with all things love, soul and spirit in your everyday lives. Now, for those of you watching for the first time, I am Leanne, the Barefoot Medium. I'm an international medium, channel, twin flame, transformational coach and author who is absolutely passionate about reconnecting people with their loved ones who've passed over, as well as providing you with the opportunity to access practical knowledge and guidance, as well as tools and techniques you can use in your everyday life to embrace what you love and what brings you into connection with your joy so you can be more of your authentic self. Now kick off your shoes, sit back, relax and enjoy this episode of Barefoot TV, where I want to share with you some guidance about the importance of intimacy in your connections with others in your life, whether it be your romantic partner, family or friends, clients or colleagues, in creating solid foundations on which your relationships can thrive. Now, first off, before we talk about connection and intimacy in relationships, we have to know what it is. What is intimacy? It's essentially the ability to be authentic and honest in your relationships, being willing to show someone else your inner world, and is the absolute core of being connected with others in the world from a space of love rather than fear. Now, being intimate with another person provides you with an opportunity to understand yourself and to be able to love them better and draw you closer together. It allows you to feel nurtured, connected, as well as understood and loved by yourself and others in healthy, more joyful and fulfilling ways. To experience intimacy and to be intimate with another person is essentially that you're in the moment. You have to be present, you have to be conscious, you have to be here and now. Because when you are in the here and now and present with someone, you're able to effectively communicate that they matter, that they are worthy, that they're important to you, that you care, and that you want to hear what they have to say. And that you're honoring them for showing up in your life, while also at the same time honoring, caring, loving, respecting, valuing, and knowing that you're worthy. Now, to step into the space of intimacy or being intimate with others, it is important that you know yourself first and foremost. What are your values? What's most important to you in life? If you don't know what's important for you or understand yourself, or you're not connected with you, then you can't bring that to your connections or your relationships with others. You have to know what your beliefs are and whether they're empowering you to move forward and towards your relationship goals, your connections, and towards your goals and desires in life, or are they limiting you, holding you back and blocking your progress? You have to also know what makes you tick, and then to be able to trust enough to bear all of that without hesitation to yourself, to your partner, to your friends, to your family, to the world around you. That is pure intimacy with self. Now, while we all have innate desires for love and intimacy, fears around communication, respect, abandonment, trust, loss, rejection, shame, humiliation can be common blockages to expanding and growing within your relationships. So as you're watching, just take a moment to ask yourself where you're sitting with love and intimacy, and really reflect on your communication, level of respect, and what might be playing out for you. If there's limiting patterns or beliefs or fears or stories that are going on that are really keeping you from having or fulfilling those intimate desires for love and intimacy in your life. It's how you go about building intimacy in your relationships that allows you to create beautiful, solid foundations on which you can thrive and flourish. Or it can create weeds, stress, and wither away your self-confidence and your self-respect, if you allow it to, of course. A solid foundation of intimacy in any relationship is built on respect, honor, communication, and trust. First and foremost, the 4 areas or the 4 keys to intimacy: respect, honor, communication, and trust. Now, we all get together with family, friends, colleagues, clients, whoever it might be, even our partners, whether physically or on the phone or via internet, and talk to each other. We often share stories about what has been taking place in our lives. We listen to what it is that the other person has been experiencing. Essentially, building a relationship, a connection that is based on being intimate with each other. It's important to remember that real intimacy in your communication does not include gossiping, sharing things, or information that is not yours to share. Talking bad about others, it in fact dishonors not only you, but those that you're talking about. It disconnects you, it pushes you further apart. It creates unhealthy feelings of anxiety, insecurities, doubts and fears, or stories that block your potential. And most importantly, it breaks trust. One of the keys to intimacy in your relationships and your connections. So today, Spirit and I would like to ask you to take a small adventure where you reflect on the relationships, the friendships, and the connections that you currently have in your life, and you ask yourself a number of questions. So as you're watching this episode, get out a pen and paper and write these down, and take some time to get intimate with yourself and get honest and truthful and respectful and communicate with you and honor what you feel. And ask yourself the following questions about your relationships, friendships, and connections. How do they feel to you? Trust the feeling in your physical body and emotionally, because often our intuition talks to us through our body and our feelings. Trust it. How do the relationships feel? Do they feel light or heavy? Do they feel joyful and fun and loving? Or do they feel heavy and doubtful and hard? Do they nurture, support, and honor you and the other person? Do you feel connected as well as understood and loved in that relationship, friendship, or connection? Do you feel as if there is mutual respect and trust between you? Is the communication open and honest? If you're not able to be open and honest with your communication and with what you're feeling and what you're experiencing, then it blocks intimacy, it blocks connection, it blocks love coming through in respectful, honouring, loving and trusting ways. Do you address any obstacles and challenges that come up directly with the other person, or do you go around sharing your relationship details with or engaging in gossip about them to other people? In other words, are you breaking the trust within your relationships and your connections? Are you honouring them? Are you communicating directly, or are you fearful about what the other person may say or how they may react or respond? It's not about business how someone else reacts or responds to our open, honest, honouring, respectful communication. We have to trust what we feel and know. Does the other person gossip to you about other friends, partners, or people in their lives? This is a little bit of a red flag that they may also gossip about you. So be aware. How are you able to trust them with information that you want to share open and honestly? Are you both willing to learn and grow together? Now that's a big one in partnerships or romantic relationships and even friendships. Are you willing to learn and grow together? If one person in a connection stagnates and stops growing and stops learning, and the other wants to keep growing and moving forward, it can really block and frustrate and cause a huge amount of issues or obstacles or hurdles in relationships and connections. Are you able to effectively communicate to the other person that they matter, that they are worthy, that they are important to you, and that you care about them? Or do you need to improve your communication and your openness and your ability to say that to them? And are they able to do the same with you in return? Are you open to receiving that communication that tells you that you're loving and that you're worthy and that you're kind and that you're cared for and you're important? If you can't receive it, then your connection or your level of intimacy needs to be worked on, and you have some areas to learn and grow in. So acknowledge that. Are you both able to listen to each other so that you really hear, accept, and acknowledge what each other has to say? Now, we all know how to talk and communicate, but communication is also about effective listening. And that means allowing the other person space to get everything out that they need to say, and then to wait for that invitation for you to speak and respond. Learn to communicate better, learn to listen better, without thinking through how you're going to respond or react while the other person is talking. Be present, be connected, be in the moment, be conscious with them. That really allows for a clear connection to take place. Do you know what you value most in life? Now, most challenges, problems, arguments, discussions in romantic relationships or even in business relationships come up as a result of not knowing what's important to you and not being able to share that with people around you. Do you have similar values and beliefs? Because if there's a mismatch, then there's always going to be problems or challenges or hurdles. Or if there is a mismatch, then you can work out how you can move through that or over that or around that challenge and meet each other's needs. Is there physical, emotional, mental, spiritual attraction that allows you to draw closer to each other? Now, in romantic relationships in particular, if there's a physical attraction, we may experience that physical body attraction where we find them physically attractive and have that instant response. But is there also an emotional attraction? Do you connect on an emotional level? Do you connect emotionally and mentally? Now, intellectually, mentally, if you're feeling a little bit bored or stagnant and you're not really getting your mental and emotional needs met within your connections, then that's not true intimacy either. And is there spiritual attraction? So how's the energetics within your connections and your relationships, particularly if you're spiritually aware and open and conscious? Do you have the same values and beliefs, and are you attracted to what their thoughts and beliefs are around the spiritual? Are you, this is a big one, are you able to trust them enough to bear all, to get naked, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, to bear all without hesitation? Can they do the same with you in return? Sit down and really ask yourself that. Now, I am sure, like most people, that you crave more intimacy in your relationships and in your life. Intimacy with your life, with your business, with your finances, with your health and well-being. How intimate are you being? Where you are known, seen, heard, accepted, and you can give love and be loved deeply in return. Put your hand up and say, hell yes. If that's what you want more of, and you want to experience more intimacy in your relationships, in your connections, in your friendships, in your business, in your finances, whatever area of your life it is, you have to be the person that embraces those keys to intimacy. To experience and be intimate with another person, it is essential that you are honest in answering and reflecting on those questions in today's episode. That you remain in the present moment. If you're looking at the past and have stories playing out that limit your potential because of your past experiences, situations, or events, then it's going to impact your relationship in the present moment if you allow it to. Or are you looking too far ahead into tomorrow and creating anxiety and stress and worry for yourself? Stay present in your connections and in your relationships so you are able to build solid foundations that are built on honesty, trust, self-disclosure, respect, appreciation, interdependence, and togetherness. Take some time to get intimate with you, to know who you are, to really reflect on each of those connections in your life. And if you're struggling with limiting beliefs, old stories, patterns of sabotage behavior that are playing out, or fears, then connect with me further through my transformational coaching programs and get some one-on-one support to move you through and really get clear and conscious and present to what's playing out, and then be able to take empowered steps forward from a loving, trusting, respectful and intimate space to allow your relationships to thrive and to be fulfilling and healthy within your life. Reach out, connect with me on my website, thebarefootmedium.com.au, for more details, or come and join me for the next retreat, transformational retreat, where we get to focus on helping and supporting you to get through those patterns and stories and create and manifest the life that you desire and the life that you want, whether it's around family, relationships, love, business, finance, health, well-being, any area that really you are drawn to. So, thank you for connecting with me on this episode of Barefoot TV. Wherever you are in the world, whatever you are doing and wherever you are at in your journey, and whoever you are taking that journey with, I wish you love, joy, happiness, and more intimacy in your life. And I look forward to connecting to you on the next episode of Barefoot TV.